Okay, we are going to start now. Do blessing. Please, can you tell me what you have learned so far from our previous class?
Okay, so what I've learned so far from the previous class is first of all the interface of the MySQL bench, the various tabs that are on the environment, with its purpose and its use. So, it's this my network word. Hello.
Okay, I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you. You can continue.
Okay, its purpose and its use. That's for the various um files. Then when you want to create a database for a maybe for a variable, you always it's always advisable to create a database in relation to what you want to work on. That's the file you want to work on. And if it has to do with two variable, that's two names, it's always good to use an underscore and not just putting the names together. Like maybe if you want to create a file or a database for maybe for my school, instead of my school, it's always good you use my underscore then school when creating your database. Yes, I think.
Okay. Thank you, blessing. You have done justice to that. So, Akmal, hand over to you. So, please, can you share your experience so far? What have you learned?
Okay, like normally, I had small experience with SQL, so I knew how to create a database. So from creating the database, now we now know how to create tables using the different columns and rows. So the one that you need to set as
So,
primary.
okay,
Yeah.
can continue.
So you
So,
just
really, you mean that you can create
say say
You mean that you can create tables on your own, right? And you
yes sir.
can insert, right?
Yes sir.
Okay. So what other part? What other parts you already
In
know
this,
before?
okay, in SQL, another part I've known is basically all these SQL. Another part I know is how to calculate, how to insert,
Okay, as a
how
continue.
yeah. I don't have forgotten
Okay,
the code.
okay, no problem. As time goes on, the thing is that it's not only about you doing some of the insert, creating table. It's all about making use of the software to what analyze data. So
Yes, that
thank you for your experience. So far, I want you to share your knowledge of what you have learned from that day we started the class, okay?
yes, I said already that I actually know how to create database
Okay. Okay,
and
no
and
problem. So no problem. We are going to continue from here we stop on our previous class. So our previous class talks about creation of database, explanation of what the environment of MySQL environment, introduction to what curriculums and all. Now we started a database which we created a database which was called what student record. Now we also what make use of what that student record. Now
Inputting.
we created a table
Yes.
yeah, we created a table called student data, which we what insert the student data, which was the what the columns. Now these columns contain what this person's ID, we use the auto increment, the primary key, the last
Is
name,
it my
middle
network
name,
or
first name. So this is what we
wait?
have already created as the columns, and these columns are just like where all the feed a student or a student data will be belong to. Now, auto increment, normally auto increment is not like compulsory to or other software. You cannot choose auto increment in some software, but you can choose auto increment in some software. Now, auto increment is just like automatically what increasing your primary key or a particular integer number. Now, we also talk about data types in what in SQL. I've gone through each and every one of your assignments, and everybody did justice to that. So moving on, we are going to look at on what creating or inserting what student what data. Now, when we want to insert student data, we we are not going to just insert directly like that. We have to write what a command, and which this command is what necessary for us. This command is what necessary for us to what write. Now, sometimes we have to what learn every syntax or every step of what our algorithm. We have to what learn everything, because we might be familiar with this pick and drop stacks of a thing. We just pick and drop. So sometimes we might see a different program entirely, which does not require what an environment or a dashboard like this or a GUI interface. It can only require coding, creating of what codes or syntax. So this is the essence why we are introducing you to what creating of what data using what code, creating of table using code. So in SQL, not every program. Oh, okay. Now in SQL, you know that you can use command prompt to write SQL program. You can use your command prompt to what create a table. So it sometimes this GUI created was just like to make it easier for people to use. That is the essence of this GUI. In maybe let me explain this to you that in let's say 1990 something, we don't know about all this GUI interface. This a new generation development where GUI comes in, the graphical user interface comes in, when people can see the environment. Before, people work with what command prompts. People work with prompts. They write code from scratch. They create table from scratch, like that, like that. So now, if you don't know this basics, if you don't know how to write this code, it might be difficult for you when you got a job. You can also work as a cyber security now, and most of the cyber security, they also required code writing. So you have to what make sure you understand all this writing. Okay, now so we are going to insert a table. We are going to insert a table. Now, for us to insert, we have already started what creating database. Now as we want to resume our table. Now, for us to resume, we have to make use of what the record again. We have to make use of what the database. Now look at how I'm going to do it. So uh I'm going to do it like this. I will say that we should use our student record. You see, it might give me an error. Let's see. It might give me what? An error. Okay. Yeah, it did not give me an error. Now we have already tell the system that we want to make use of what student record. Now we already created the what a database. Now we want to insert in into the person's ID. We want to insert in into last name. Now for us to insert, now there's something we called insert. Now I'm going to say that it should insert it into what person's student data. Student what data. Now look at it. I will say insert into, then student data. Sorry, not record, data. Now student data. Now what are the columns of student data? Now I'm going to select all these columns separated by what, comma. I'm going to select it separated by what, comma. So please take note of what I'm doing. Understand the code very well. The middle name.
Sorry, sir. Sorry to cut you. This prompting or action that you are doing, what is it called? Is it how to run the database?
How this is how to insert data
Okay,
into
date.
our, yeah, into our, yeah, how to insert into
Okay.
our table. You know, we created table in our previous class. Now remember, this is what we did on our previous class. Now blessing.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, we created a table. We just created a table. So now let's view our table we created earlier before. So let me
Yeah.
not just let me show you so that you'll be able to understand what we did. So now let's see student data. Let's see our student data. We'll say select all from what, student data. Select select all
Inside.
from student data. So now we are going to what, see what we did. This is what we did on our previous class. Now did you see that we created a column? Let's,
Yes. Yes.
we created a column and we have not inserted anything.
Anything. Yes.
So this is what we are going to do now. That is the today's topic, which is what, insert. Now for us to insert, we use a what, a syntax called insert. Now you give it a direction to, into, then the name of the table, then you call out the table columns which you want to fill in the values. I believe you understand what I'm trying to explain.
Yes.
So now
Yes.
let's go. So let me drop this. Let me drop this. Okay. Let me reduce this. Okay. This good. Now I've collected the middle name. So the first name. So when you are writing this, when you are inserting, you make sure that you insert into the colon, specific colon. You separate them by comma. So this is separated by what, comma. Now our age, so our sex and email. So and our address. So we have address and we have country. So these are all our fields, which is our columns. Now, since we have written it like this, we have to tell SQL that this is where I want you to what, place my value. So that is why we are writing out every columns out. So now we'll break a line, we'll break it down and continue from here. We are going to say that it should what, insert it, it should insert this value. So we are going to give it a values, which is what, value, or we'll call it values. we have values and values. So we are going to give it what values. Now this is our values. Uh, let's say John. John is a name. John is a name now, right? We have John. Uh, we are going to give it Joanne. Okay, we are going to give it this name. Okay, I believe this is okay. Now, John, John. Okay, now since we want to know the type of name, we have our ID, right? Our ID. So we are supposed to have ID. So we are going to give it ID of what 1234 slash CM Tech. Okay, slash CM Tech. And or remember we have already put it as auto increment, so we are not going to add anything there. So we are not going to add anything there again. So we already added what auto increment. Now we are going to call in the last name, which is John. Let's say John. Then we are going to give it a middle name. uh let's say favor. Favor. Then we are going to give it uh the first name. The first name should be Miracle. Miracle. Now this is our first our surname, which is the last name, our middle name, and yeah, middle name and the first name. So we are going to add age. Now the age should be what? Let's say 23. So 23. Now we are going to add the sex. Now our sex should be what? The sex should be male or what? Female. So male. So let's put it as what? String. Okay. Now we are going to write in what again? So we are going to write in the email. Now email. So let me just copy email from my existing work. So let me just copy email and I'll paste it here. Okay, email. So we have email now. Which other one again? We have address. Now what will be our address? Let's say 20. Okay, 20 Lagos Street. Let's say 20 Lagos Street. Good. Now we have already written what our address. Now so we are going to include the country. Now what country do we are going to write it as what? Nigeria. So our country should be what? Nigeria. Nigeria. So we have written our first. Now since we have written our first, let's see if what we have written so far is correct. Now let's see if it will be inserted. Okay, so now the color have changed. The color have changed. We don't know if it's correct. So let's see if what we are going to insert is what correct. So we are going to insert it now again. So I'm going to highlight it. Highlight, then run. And what did you see? It said insert into does not match. Now it does not match. Why? Now maybe there is an error. So sometimes our program differs. Our programs differs. The kind of software you are using to code SQL might be different. So let's see if we use double quotes. You understand? So we want to see if we use double quotes, what will be our output. So I'm coming. So double quotes, and so you can also cross check if what we are doing is right, like the columns. If the column matches with what our original column, so you can also cross check. So let's run if it will work. Still did not insert. Now what happened? He said the column count does not match with the value. Okay, he said the column count does not match. Now what is remaining? So let's see the if we can add what id student, let's say id. Okay, let's see if we can add what id. So we'll run it. It said the column does not match the value at what row 1, at row 1. So now the thing is, let's check which row am I not adding. Okay, let me see. We have the person's id, the last name, the middle name, and the first name. Okay, the age, sex, and so everything here is correct. Everything here is correct. So let's see. I'm coming. Okay. Okay. Now let's see. You know that it's not oh, sorry. Yeah, okay, we wrote integer. We wrote integer here. And let's see variable. Oh, sex. Okay, sex is 10. 10. Okay. The email. The email is okay. Everything is okay, right? Hello, are you with me?
Yes. Yes.
Everything is okay. So I'm trying to see what will be my error, because he said that the column count does not match with what the value at what row 1, at row 1 does not match at what row 1. So let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and he said that the value did not match at what row 1. So what will be our error? So which other value we are missing? The last name, middle name, first name. Okay, and okay,
Hello, sir.
I'm hearing you.
Can for this person ID, and for the variable, person ID is an integer. So I feel like
Yes.
one that we are putting as the person ID is not going to work because it serves as an odd number, and most integers are even numbers. So maybe we can change the number from one to like more of ID kind of numbers, maybe 20 something or 24 or 01 something, 0011 something.
Let's say something like this.
Mm.
But I'm coming. So let's see if it will run. It will not run. You know why? So I think I need to remove what? The integer. I need to what? Remove the integer, but I think I need to remove the integer. Normally, it's supposed to be incremented. Understand? It's supposed to be what? Incremented. So okay, let's move. Let's do it like this. Let me copy the code and paste. Let me copy a code and I already written. Let's see what will be our outcome. So, oh, okay. Sorry. Oh, I made mistake. Hello, are you with me?
Yeah, with
Yes,
you.
sorry too.
So, I'm not supposed to put the ID. I'm not supposed to put the ID. Since I've already auto increment it, I'm not supposed to put the ID. Do you understand?
Yes.
So I'm not supposed to put the ID. So let's see how it goes. So let me run. So let's me run now and see. Wow, what's okay? It's not run. What is it showing to? Okay, the column did not match. Let me see my data.
I think you should check the data. Was it in the tables? Were there a fixed number for the table?
A fixed numbers.
I don't know. Maybe why it's not running. Maybe we
My
can
code.
check the spacing.
Oh, look at it. I did not put comma here.
You know what I'm saying?
I did not put comma there. So let's see. Let's run again. Sorry. We have to understand. We have to look at our code very now. It has already affected. Did you see it has already been affected? Hello.
One
We are
row
Yeah.
with him.
affected.
Yeah, it has already been affected. So it's because of I did not put what command here. So let's see our data now. Look at it. One row affected, and now this is what happened here. When you are auto incrementing and using primary key, you don't need to what add it to what your insert values. You don't need to what add it to your insert values. So when you are writing out the columns, you will skip your auto increment column, because the system will what auto increment it by its own self. Now look at it. Look at this table. You see that it has already added one, right?
Yes, sir.
Hello. So
Yes.
this is a problem we have just solved. Please take note of it. We have just solved a problem, and sometimes every problem we pass through, we have to what document it. Okay, so now let's add multiple. Now we are going to what add multiple names and see our outcomes. So I'm going to copy from existing code I've written. Like I'm going to copy it and add it. So it's just for us to what change names to it. So I just introduce this part to you. So this is already written code. So we are going to what make changes of all this. Please, if your mic is on, please unmute it. Mute it, Joe. So now this is all these data are what's written before. So for us not to start typing and typing again, so I decided to what uh I, I decided to copy and what paste it here. So we are going to make sure it fits to what the column. So now we are going to use what student what data. Remember, it's not person we are using. We are going to use what student data. Okay, and we'll make sure that everything fits to what the columns. So now this student data, all these names, do they match? So we have the last name, last name, we have the first name, age. Now in terms of sex, we do not have it. So we are going to add sex to it, which is what uh either is male or what is male or what female. So a person who bears Silvanus favor or pressure. So I think this should be what a male. So now let's see a person who bears Samuel favor gift. It can okay progress. We can we can say it's a female. Let's say female. Now female. So we can also do it like this. Uh the person who bears on to could be what a male. So we'll copy it and paste it. So provided you have your data, please take note, provided you have your data, you make use of what your data database creation perfectly well, because you have to what insert all these data. So when writing a code, so I want you to do something for me. There's other way you can insert without you writing insert. We have what the values and we have value. So please I want you to do a research on how you can what just insert or once without you writing insert insert into. Okay, now let's move on. So we are going to look for, okay, we have gifts, John gift Joanne. So we are going to paste it here, female. Now which other one again? I think there's nothing like uh there's nothing like city. There's nothing like city. So I'm going to clean off what the city. I'm going to what clean off city. So there's nothing like city, and I'm going to what also replace it. I'm also going to replace it uh the sex. So I'll also add what sex to it. So just like we are just changing and editing. So good. Now this columns will be removed and this column will be removed. So please don't be discouraged. So you just have to write your code properly and organize it very well. So now what is left is what sex. So we are going to add what sex to it, which is this. So sex. Okay. Sometimes if you did not put your comma or separate it, it might give you what an error. So let's observe what we have written so far. If it's correct, now it's correct. I guess so, it's correct. Now, are you seeing it? Are you seeing what I'm writing, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Joanne, Blessing, are you still with us? Hello, Blessing. Hello. Okay.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, please document your the
Maybe there's a recording that we can watch on the YouTube page.
okay. Why do you ask?
No, like in case maybe I want to go back when after practice, maybe if I'm having an error, I can still go
Yes,
back to check where the error is coming from.
yes, there's a recorded video.
Hello, sir.
I'm
Okay,
hearing
thank
you.
you.
Yeah, this code will not run. The first name, there's a mistake in the spelling.
Okay, the first name.
Yes.
Okay, I think we have to interchange it. Okay, we have to interchange it, and it will not run. Okay, noted. So that's why I draw your attention. So please, I want you to note every error we have been encountering. The first one was what we did not add our comma to what uh, to the insert into values, and the other one was we did not what included the auto increment columns. So now let's look at the data we are inserting, and we want to make corrections on it. So please take note of what we have been doing, and also in future references you can also solve problem like this. So now we are going to copy this. We are going to copy this and replace it here. So we are going to replace it here. So copy this again, replace it here. So we'll copy this again. So when you are creating your program, you have to be conscious of what you are writing. Is the column well arranged? You have to be conscious of it. Is your code well written? You have to be conscious of it. Now, when we are running a Python code, you have to what use something like indentation. Now, you see, I indexed my work. I indexed what my work. Now you see that all my inserts here are the same line, and also all my values are also on the same line. So now let's see if these data we have created is correct. Now if it's correct, then we do our what our final insert. So let's look at it. Okay, now we don't have comma here, so let's look at it. So do we have error? Hello, do we have
No,
error? Just go through. If we have an error, indicate. Do we? Okay. Do we still have an error? I want to hear from you guys. Or are you still cross-checking?
So we are checking.
I think we don't have an error.
So let's try
no.
again.
Come to line 24. You have Nigeria and we have Ikeja at the back of Nigeria.
Okay, good. Good, good, good. Nice one. It seems that you are following. So which other error again? So today we are dealing on insect, and I'm trying to make sure that you will be able to understand various problems, and also see possible errors you may encounter. So let's look at check again. Is there any error? Hello, is there any error?
So let's run it first.
Okay, blessing, is there any error? Hello, blessing, is there any error? Okay. Kemi, Kemi, hello, Kemi, are you with us?
Yeah,
Have you been following?
yeah, I just joined the recent. I'm following. I'm following.
Okay, so I will explain again. I will explain again. So, blessing, are you with us? Blessing, I think blessing is doing another thing. So, Oyemi, okay. Blessing, do you want to speak? I want this class to be interactive. That's why I'm trying to get your attention. So, Oyemi, are you with us? So, should we run it?
Yes, yes, let's run it.
Okay. So, let's move on then. So, we are going to run it now. Now, Kemi, please take note. We are trying to what insert values. We are trying to what insert value. We have already inserted our first data. Look at the first data we have already inserted. Now we inserted what the person ID, last name, middle name before you came in. Now we want to insert more data. We want to what insert more data. Now when we are inserting, we have to what use this word insert into, then we call in the table, which is what the student data table, which is this student data table we call in. Then we have to call in every columns names, every word columns name. Now we excluded person's ID because the integer auto increment key, we automatically increment it by its own self. So we don't need to mention it. We don't need to what mention it here. Now that's why we what skip what person's ID. Now we added what last name, middle name, first name, age, sex, email, because these are the column we are going to make use of. Then after we have written them, we now called out values. Now this is the value we want to what insert, because when we are inserting into, then we have to call in the value we want to insert. This is how we inserted the first data into. So Kemi, I believe you understand how we did it.
Yeah, I'm following.
Okay, now let's see how we can what insert more data. We are going to what insert more data. Now let me insert. Now we have what inserted what more data. You see, one row what affected. So let's see all the data we have inserted. Now this is all the data we have inserted. Did you see it, Kemi?
Yes.
Okay, blessing, are you with us? Blessing, are you back? Because you have been muted. Hello, blessing. Ah, blessing, I believe you are not you have not left us. So hello. Okay, Blessing, you are not speaking. So please, kindly do us a favor, rejoin so that we can be able to hear you if you are here in class. Okay, please, we need your attention. Join us again. Log in back. Okay, so let's move on. Now, this is how we what insert values. Inserting values, you have to consider if this value is what correct. Now, this value we have inserted is subjected to what changes. You can make changes anytime, any day. You can what make your changes anytime, any day with just few codes. So, Akpan,
Yes, sir.
so what do you think? Uh, what do you think we can be able to do with this data we have inserted as a data analyst?
Okay. We can trim, we can edit, we can delete, what else? We can even add, and we can
Okay.
remove some data. Yeah.
Now, good. Now, this is a clean data. Okay. As a data analyst, this is a clean data because there's nothing we can amend because it is well arranged. Everything is well arranged. It is well organized. You see, we have the first name, the middle name, everything. There is no missing value. Everything was supposed to be in that order. So this data is well arranged. Should in case you come across missing values, maybe the first name don't have values but the middle name has values, like that. So you can be able to fill in something to fill in the gaps. You just fill in the gaps. You can also write that certain data came in with what non-value, certain cells came with what non-values. So you can also outline what you added. Maybe at the end of your analysis, you can just draw out like, okay, line one, the first name was missing. So I maybe I used none to indicate what non-value. So that is the work of a data analyst. You have to analyze each data. You have to what explain each data. So this is a well organized data. Just as I explained earlier before, we can download our data. When we download it, it will export as what our CSV file. So let's move on. So today we are also going to look at on what limits. We are also going to look at on what limits. Now, limits, when we are previewing data, if we have millions of data, we want to limit it. We don't want to see everything. We just want to see four. We'll use the word limit. Now, limit is like reducing or reducing the data to a specific numbers for us to view. So okay, now let's see how many people are in class. Blessing, you are back. Hello, Blessing. Ah,
Hi, I'm here. It's my network.
you were not speaking. You were not
I'm
speaking
having a
before.
bad network. That's right.
Oh, okay, no
I
problem.
was talking. Oh, it was my network.
Really, the network is really bad today. So as times goes on, we'll move on together. So uh, who is Inya? Inya, you're welcome.
Thank you.
So I believe you are following. Are you with us?
Yeah, I joined the class since, but it's on YouTube.
Okay, no problem. Since you
Mm,
joined the class since, please next time do not join the class on YouTube. Come in so that you can be
all right.
able to interact with us. When we interact with you, we can be able to or give you a feedback. We can be able to make sure that you are able to understand it. Sometimes I might just come to class, discover, I will just introduce error. I will not let you know that this is an error. I will just make sure that we are solving it together. So, and it's good we work together, okay?
Okay.
So let's move on. Akman, man, Akman, please drop a message on the group chat. Tell Owoyemi to join the class.
Okay, sir.
Now, let's talk about the limiting clause. Now, in SQL, we have what we call limit clause. Limit clause is like specifying the numbers of record to return. Now, we want to specify the number of record to what return. Now, for example, we don't want to see everything. We just want to see row one and row one, row two, and row three. So we are going to what use something we call limit. We are going to use something we called what limit. Now, how are we going to do it? We are going to say that we select. We are going to use select all from. Now, what are we selecting all? Now, we are going to select all from what? Student data. Now, select all from student data, limit. So, we are going to what? Add what? Limit. So, let me just do something like this. Add limit. Now, what is the limit? We want to limit it to what? 2 or 3. So, let's say 3. Now, let's run it. Let's see our outcome, how it will look like. Now, did you see that we have what limit what our data? For example, you are working with millions of data. You just want to see if we want to see the first persons, the first 3 persons. For example, you want to give an award, and many people apply through online. And during the list, you just want to know the first person and the time. You can, or you want to know the first 3 persons that join. So we just use that to what pop out what the first 3 persons. It's very short. You use select all from what the student data, then limit it to the first 3, the first 5. So, and now with this, we have already known our our first 3. So the first 3, we can just say that the first 3 is what the first 3 winners is what John and Silvanus and Samuel. So we already know our first 3. Okay, we already know our first 3 now. So let's move on. I believe you understand the limit.
Yes, sir.
Okay, is there anyone who are okay? Is there anyone who have issue with the limit, or you do
Sir,
not
sir,
understand
I want to
the?
ask a question. I want to ask a question.
Okay,
Okay, in the process, maybe you have like thousands of data, and maybe you want to take from maybe number 11 to number 15 only. Is there any how you can do
11.
it? Is to number 15? Is there any how you can do it in this our students' data? Maybe you can just take like you can use limit and take like 3 to 5 or 3 to 4, only 3 and 4.
Yes, there's a way we can do it.
Okay.
There's a way we can do it. Okay. So I think it's getting tougher, or it's getting sweeter now, Akpam. So you said you have learned a lot now.
I've learned a bit. To be frank, I limit was not there. I'm even happy I'm seeing limit now. Limit was not
Ah,
there.
ah. You said you have learned a lot now. So you are supposed to understand, you are supposed to know the limits now.
Limit wasn't there. Limit was not there.
Okay, let's go. That's why I told you that uh even if you know the very basic in CM Tech, we are going to introduce you to more of it, okay? To more of it. So
Okay,
please
sir.
take note of every details of what we are doing. Now, that is where your range comes in. Do you
Okay.
understand?
Okay.
That
Okay.
is where
Wow.
your range comes in. You give it a range. You tell the system to, okay, give me every data from here to when. You set in your what, your conditions. You understand?
Yes,
I
sir.
don't want to explain more details, but I believe you are able to understand what we said because you are a part of a Python
Yes, sir.
student, right?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
you'll
sir.
be able to understand what I just explained. So you give it what a range, you set what your condition, okay? So you'll be able to get a specific data you need. So now this is a class, and our class is gradual process. Now for every beginner here, so I take everybody as what beginner because I don't know if you learned it somewhere else or no, everybody is what a beginner. So we are going to move from what from from the beginner stage towards the advanced stage. So as we progress, you see you will know more about what we are doing. Okay. So is there anyone having issues? Kemi, do you understand what I just did? Hello, Kemi.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
You understand, right?
Yes, yes.
So this code is not difficult for you, right?
No, no, it's not.
Okay, okay, let's move on. So now let's move on again. Uh, we are going to do something like still under the limit. Still under the limit. Still under filtering. So limit is kind of a part of what filtering. Filtering what data or records. Now we want to see a way we can what also filter a particular data. We can also what filter a particular data. Now we are going to use a where clause. Where clause. Have you heard about where before? Akpan, have you heard about where?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, now where clause is a condition that is used to what filter a role or a record. It is used to what extract only those records that fulfill a specific condition. Please take note o. It's like using what selecting only those that meet the conditions. Okay, it will be able to what filter them. Now let's see example of what I have explained. Now let's see what I have explained. Now let's filter. Okay, let's see our all our data before. Let me just copy this. Copy. Let me copy it down here so that I will not be screwing and screwing up. So okay, now let's see our previous data. Now this is our previous data. Now I want to filter those who have gifts on their names. Okay, for example, you are working with an organization, and in that organization, we have a lot of people who bears what gifts, who bear gifts, and we are not sure of the particular person, but we know that each of them has a name within them, either the first name or the second name that bears gift. So we want to see everybody on what on that record. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to explain.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Duru, do you understand what I'm trying to say? Blessing. Okay. Okay. A blessing. I guess blessing is having network issue. Do you understand what I'm trying to say, or should I recap again?
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Your line is breaking. I can
I'm
only
not
hear
going
you
again.
little by little.
My
Okay.
network is bad. Oh God, I have to.
Uh, you need to get something like like good network like MTN. MTN. Are you using MTN network?
No, it's Glow.
It's Glow. Glow is always bad now. It's not like MTN. Okay. Get get MTN. At least if you want a cheaper data, you can just go for that 121 stuff. You get cheaper data. So, Kemis, I believe you understand what I'm explaining.
Yeah, I'm familiar with where. Yeah.
You are familiar with Where? Have you used Where before?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah. Tell me one code. Explain one for me. Just give me one insight of how you can use Where.
Okay. If you, as we want to get all the students that are from Nigeria, so we can use where to filter in the case we have different countries. Okay, maybe students from different countries are on the table, so we can use where to filter Nigeria out of them. So
Okay, Nigeria out of there.
other
Good.
countries.